Hello, everybody, and welcome to E3. Tony, I am excited about this. I always love E3 and have for years because even before I got into board games, I was playing video games.
Okay. Well, I'm excited that you're excited because without you watching E3, I would have no clue what to expect in the coming months.
You just don't keep up with any of this stuff, do you?
No, I got better things to watch. I got Blue Blood season finale queued up downstairs tonight. I'm ready to go.
You at least could have made up the bed that's behind you before you got on.
It's not mine. It's not mine to make.
Sheesh.
So when my 20-plus-year-old daughter comes to visit home again, needs a place to sleep, I'm gonna look at her and say, "That's what you left. There you go. You could have stripped your bed, brought your sheets down, but no. So you get to lay in that old dirty bed when you get home. That's not my problem. You're 20 plus years old. You think you'd learn something?
All right, this is boring. Hey, look, I'm representing tonight.
I am too.
Nintendo 64 shirt here. I want one of every console, and this is the only one they have. I really want a GameCube with the little their logo, the GameCube logo. And then I wanted to push a button and I wanted to play the login sound.
Can you do the login sound for me?
No, it's like bump.
Well, see, you just did it.
Yeah, but that, unless you know what it is, you'll be like, what is he doing?
He's making noise with his mouth. That's what he's doing. So well, they do have t-shirt paint.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And for those who are joining, what we're doing here is Tony and I are big Switch fans. And thankfully, I talked Tony into going and buying a Switch a few years ago, and it has just been the most choice system. And in fact, Tony, you and I grew up on Nintendo systems dating all the way back to the NES.
Yeah, we're old. We saw it when they came out. Matter of fact, we helped them solder a point. We were in there. We were helping design that bad boy.
In fact, that wasn't even our first console. I had an Atari 2600.
Oh, you had an Atari 2600. I had the Pong, the original Pong.
I did too.
There you go. And then, of course, I went up to the VIC-20, the VIC Commodore 64, the Commodore 128, and therefore, which led to being able to do papers and all that other stuff. Yeah.
So you skipped the Atari 2600, the ColecoVision, and television, all that stuff?
Oh, I was from a poor family.
I was too.
So no, I mean, I would go into this store. I don't know if people can recall, there was a store called Sears. And my parents, back in the day, they would drop me off in front of those systems while they did the shopping, and I would play on the video games. Or go into Kmart and do the same thing, Radio Shack, and get run out.
So, same here. In fact, I think that's why I get excited about E3, because it's kind of like going into the store as a kid and trying out the new stuff and seeing the new stuff. For me, I also remember around here there was a store called Service Merchandise.
And absolutely. Fill out the little ticket and watch it come down the ramps.
Yeah, they came out with the catalog every year, and that was the way I found out when new games were coming out. You know, back then we didn't have this thing called the internet, so we could find out when games and stuff were coming out. But now we have live streaming, like it's going to be happening tomorrow at noon here, where Nintendo is going to be presenting a lot of the games that's going to be coming out soon, hopefully.
Well, when we were in college, they came out with this thing called Windows 3.1.
Well, but we were using DOS before that.
Yeah, but it was amazing. I mean, you weren't in college. I don't think you were in college. You might have had one more year when Windows came out, because I was the only person sitting in the Windows computer lab at NC State. By the way, they are in the World Series playoff for college. I'm just stating. And I was the only one in that one. Everybody was in that Mac lab, but nobody was over there.
I was in the Mac lab and I was playing Dark Castle.
There you go. So we're not here to talk about our history, are we?
Well, it kind of all stems from that, because what we're going to do is we're going to go through our wish list for tomorrow. Now, some people do projections, and I know there's a lot of predictions and stuff for tomorrow, but we just want to go through some of the things that we hope is going to be talked about tomorrow. Some of our favorites from yesteryear, maybe being remade or something like that. And if you're watching in the chat and you have ideas of items on your wish list, put them in the chat and bring them up. It may be some stuff that we hadn't even thought about. So,
I'm sure there'll be things I didn't even think about.
right, and that's why we want people to chime in there also.
I mean, if at 3:30 I was good on our putting in. Marty's like, put in your wish list. I'm like, it's not 3:30 yet, man. We got time.
And you got some interesting ones in there. Hold on, I'm trying to hit our Discord channel here. They pop stuff up in there. And if you're not a member of our Discord channel, please do so. You can go over to rolldicetakenames.com. You'll see a link for Discord in there. And you don't Discord much, Tony, because you can't get on it.
Can't do it unless I'm doing it on the phone, and then I have to do the verbal typing because that's swiping crap. It's just not me.
All right, so here we go. Let's go. There's a big old elephant in the room, and let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. And that is, we both are expecting something from Zelda.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that you are wanting or expecting in that franchise, this is the 35th anniversary of Zelda?
I would like to see the next Breath of the Wild type game. I mean, I played them. You made fun of me on my Switch and the number of hours that I played on my Switch, and the majority of it was either Breath of the Wild or a 10-year-old game known as Skyrim.
So do you know how many hours you logged? Did you ever look it up for Breath of the Wild?
I did. And I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild, it said whatever the max number was like 250 plus.
So you got, did you finish the game?
Oh yeah, I finished the game and was pissed.
Why?
Because after I finished the game, I thought I could keep exploring and killing the little monsters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was not happy about that. I couldn't take what I did in the final boss realm and carry it forward. I wanted to be able to keep playing on that, but I couldn't do that. Well, at least I don't think so, because the end credits ran and that was about it. And I was like, well, this sucks, because I got some really cool stuff. Now you can go play hard mode. I'm done. I don't need to go play hard mode.
And so they teased, I think back in 2019, the next thing, and everybody's calling it Breath of the Wild 2. I don't think they'll call it Breath of the Wild 2. They'll call it something else, but I'm hoping to get some update tomorrow, because it looks like it's based on the same engine as the first one. So you think they got pretty far along into it. And from what the one trailer they've released makes it look pretty dark, which I'm interested in.
So is it to the point it's after Breath of the Wild, or is it because what's the Skyward Sword is before, right?
I think Skyward Sword is considered the first chronologically of the Zelda games.
Okay.
And Wind Waker, I believe, is one of the last.
Okay, because to be honest with you, I don't really follow the chronology. I just want to play a good game. I want to be entertained. That is my goal in life. I will always rate a Zelda game based on, did I get mad enough to throw the controller like I did when the water dungeon in Ocarina of Time? I think that's the one. Where you had to do the water dungeon, raise the levels, lower the levels, and go to the various rooms. I was enjoying the mess out of the game. I got Eponia. I was having fun with it. And then I went to that dungeon, and that was it. I was done. I was like, this sucks. I can't imagine doing it now.
Remember, if you're just now joining, thanks for joining. And if you have ideas for your wish list, what you want to see on the Nintendo Direct tomorrow, drop them in the chat. For example, our good friend Ben just says he wants to see a new Star Fox, which would be interesting. When we talked about games on Nintendo 64, we didn't mention Star Fox. That was a big deal. I remember when it first came out, I was like, wow, this is cool. It's like I'm flying a real ship and everything. So
that game pissed me off too.
No, okay.
That game made me grumpy too.
So along with the Zelda 35th anniversary, they're coming out with Skyward Sword. Rumors are, and I hope this is announced tomorrow too, it's on my wish list, I want to see a collection of games just like we got with Mario last year. And if I'm guessing, I would guess it would be Ocarina of Time, which I'm not that interested in, but I would be very interested in Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. And of those two, I'd play Twilight Princess first, because we lost our save file on the Wii and I never finished it. And that has more of a darker feel to it. And then I would go back and actually play a Wind Waker again. And Ocarina of Time I probably wouldn't do again.
Only if they fix that dungeon. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, Wind Waker, I enjoyed Wind Waker. I don't remember if I finished it. I think I did. It's been a while. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let's see. The last system I bought, of course, for the Nintendo was the Wii, and bought it when it first came out, and then shelved it, didn't play it very much because of life, and haven't ever really gotten back to it until you made me buy the Switch.
So are you going to get Skyward Sword?
No, I'm not leaning towards Skyward Sword. I will definitely get the golf, and it's coming out June 25th, I believe. And I made a decision today that I would probably not sell back Monster Hunter. I'll probably keep. That's one of those games I think with at my pace, I'll just have fun with it. I'll never be online playing that game. I will be doing it. They'll be patching things that, well before I even get to them.
The reason why I don't want Skyward Sword is because I don't want motion controls. And they said if you don't want motion controls, they got an analog stick flip, like flip up to swash left, swash right. And it's like, that sounds kind of cool. And then my son said, he talked about another game where it was kind of like that, where you had to flick the stick in order to swing a sword. He said, you're going to get sick of it. And I went,
oh, I bet.
You know what? You're right. And also it ticked me off too, because I don't know if you knew this, but Link was always left-handed until Skyward Sword. And they figured most people would want to swing the Wiimote with the right hand, so they made him right-handed.
And you being the lefty, you were not appreciative of that.
I was not happy for that. In the chat, somebody said, have you played Blast Core? No, Blast Core or Blast Co-ops in Nintendo 64? I never did. I never did play that one. Have you heard of that one? I've not either. I'm looking forward. In the chat says, can't wait for Nintendo in the morning. I'm actually working from home, so I could be here at noon Eastern time when it streams. I'm going to watch it with the boys, and I hope they kill it. Xbox did a fantastic job yesterday, so we'll see if they can do it. So, what?
Which brings me to a point. Why? So I watched the E3 coverage of Xbox just to see what actually I only watched the Bethesda release, and everything was Xbox exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of crap is this?
That's correct. It's either there's going to be Xbox or PC. Yes, everything on the Xbox will also be on the PC. So basically, Starfield, which is Skyrim in space, is supposed to be PC or an Xbox. Mm-hmm.
Why are you? That makes no business sense to me.
Sure it does.
Sure it does is not an argument. Sure it does is just a statement.
How
does that make you can sell millions of copies of this, and yet you chose to only do one console?
Well, they bought Bethesda. So yes, Microsoft is going to say, Bethesda, you're only releasing it on Xbox and PC.
I would look at if I was a stock owning man in Microsoft, I'd be looking at you people and saying, I don't care. Make me money.
Well, we're getting off topic, but the thing about Xbox is, and Microsoft, they want you to buy the Game Pass, and it's a good deal for $10 a month. For $15 a month, you get all the games on the Xbox or PC, but I'm more interested in the $10 per month, which gives you all those games they announced. 27 of the 30 are day one on Game Pass. And if a game is $70, $60 to $70, and you're paying $10 a month, for $120 or the cost of just 2 games, I can have all the games. It's an amazing deal, and that's where they're going to make their money. So, all right, what's first on your wish list?
Still doesn't make me happy.
Well, I told you to get a PC instead of a PlayStation, but you wouldn't listen to me.
You told me to get. No, you told me not to get an Xbox and go with a PlayStation. There's a difference.
I probably did that, but I should. But PC over all of them. What's your
have to maintain and upgrade and never mind. We're going way.
What's on your wish list? Talk to me.
Well, my first thing on the wish list, and is not so much a game, is I'm hoping that they address this issue with Switch docking stations by either actually producing some or skinnying them down so they are not the behemoths. And even if you buy a third-party docking station, that it can brick your Switch, so people say. I'm not willing to take that risk. I know they say, no, it won't. Yeah, well, no, it won't. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm not taking the risk on this system. but I am tired of this.
It's not that big.
It does not fit well into my carry-on luggage when I'm traveling.
Why
or in my suitcase?
Why are you carrying it? That's the purpose of portable, so you could play it handheld.
It's handheld when I'm traveling, but when I get to my destination, it becomes stationary.
So yeah,
And it's the eyes thing. I'm so used to playing it on the big screen that when you go to the small screen, it's kind of like
it has been a long time since Switch docks have been available. They stopped making them for some reason. Last year, I was looking for one to have it work and couldn't find it. So at that time, there was a lot of talk about, hey, the new hardware is coming out. So everybody assumed that, well, there's going to be a new dock that goes along with it. And this dock, rumor is it will support 4K through like DLSS, which is like kind of like smart upscaling. So you'll get a new dock. I don't know if it'll be a new form factor or not.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. I'll get a new dock as long as it works with my old one, and I don't have to. Oh, you want a new dock? Well, guess what? You got to buy a new system. That's fine. I'm good with that.
I would hope the dock's backwards compatible, but I could see it where the new system doesn't work with the old dock. But I would hope it's the other way around. So that's your first wish list is a hardware upgrade.
No, I actually produce hardware.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll announce, "Hey, we found the production that can do this." I don't know. Let me move the camera here. I keep looking to the side because I moved you to the other screen. Oh, that's a good move right there. Here we go.
So in the chat, they said, where could Smash Brothers go next? So my sons are huge Smash Brother fans. And they're almost like, Smash Brother fans for many, many, many years. And I've asked that too. New version of Smash Brothers, they go, why? We just got the Ultimate, which has 70 to 80 something characters. Where else can you go with that franchise? And they're hoping that they just totally do something way different with that franchise. You have the Ultimate, they keep going, you have the Ultimate Edition. Where do you go beyond Ultimate? So
are they doing a field goal? What's this?
I assume that we may get an announcement maybe of a new character tomorrow. I think we've only got 2 or 3 characters left. A lot of people are wanting Wario or is it Waluigi? Is one of those in there? I can't remember all the characters in there. But anyway.
I don't own the game. That's one I have not bought because I'd be playing AI all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so the other big one that I am really looking forward to is something on Metroid. So what was this? 2-3 years ago, they dropped the little teaser trailer of Metroid Prime 4. I lost my mind. I remember I was at Origins. And I had hurried up and ate lunch and went back to the room so I could watch the, I tell you, I get into this stuff. So I could watch the E3 Nintendo thing, and they had Metroid Prime 4, and I was just losing my mind because I love that series. Metroid Prime is one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm hoping, maybe not Metroid Prime 4, but I would want 2 things for tomorrow. One, I want Metroid Prime Trilogy to come out. That came out for the Wii. I want it to be repackaged and put out for the Switch, Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. That would be amazing. And I think they've got to do that in order to help sell Metroid Prime 4 when it comes out so people understand, for those who never played, so you can understand the story. And then I would love to see a 2D Zelda, even if it's just Samus Returns that came out on the 3DS late in the system, even after the Switch came out. I would love to see that remade and come out to the system. So that's one of the big things on my wish list is some Metroid news with Metroid Prime Trilogy or a new 2D.
So history for us. You got, I don't know which Metroid it was and which system it was, but this was back in the day. So this should tell you when you could rent video games from Blockbuster. Okay.
So I'm sorry. I'll come back to the chat in a second. Continue. Rent games from Blockbuster, which I did a lot. Yes.
Exactly. We would rent the games, and you were hyping up this Metroid game. So I went to Blockbuster and rented it.
Metroid Prime?
Blockbuster was renting. That's a few years ago.
Well,
I don't remember.
There's lots of Metroids.
It was whatever. It was one of the first ones you got all hyped about.
Was it on what system was it on?
We were just married.
Not
I had just married my wife Donna, and you and Vanessa
There's
were
your
married.
clip for the night, everybody. So,
Yeah. So you were married. You had been married maybe a year and a half, and I think that would have put me 2.5 years.
well, this would have been in the 90s. So I guess it would have been a handheld system. Did they rent
95, 96? Yeah, they rented Game Boy stuff.
So in
Because I rented Pokemon from them.
Okay, so well, all right. So then it had to be on the Game Boy Advance, which would have meant it would have been Metroid.
So maybe it was late 90s. Maybe it was late 90s.
Metroid, maybe it was Metroid Fusion, which was on that system, or Metroid Zero Mission. That's the other one. And by the way, Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission, both solid games. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. That's on my wish list. That's rolled in some other stuff later on.
So either way, you talked about this, and I rented it, whichever game it was. I thought it was a cartridge I stuck in. Hated it. Did not enjoy playing that game. I'm like, what are you talking about here?
What did you not like about it?
Once again, many moons ago, I think it was just, I'm not a big fan of, and you're always correcting me on this. It's not a side scroller because you can go back and forth. I just didn't like the action to it.
Okay, that's fair. That is totally fair. I'm not one of those people that if somebody has a different opinion from me, I don't associate with them anymore. Okay.
How long have I known you?
Exactly. We have a lot of varying opinions. So in the chat, our friend David Waybright, I believe it's David from MVM's out here saying, hey, this is where the old guys talk about video games. This is his demographic. And he loved Fusion. See, David has good taste.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised he didn't say something like that. Are they talking about when they used to put quarters in the machine?
I'll talk about that all day long because I put a mess of quarters in the machine. What's next on your wish list?
Okay, next on my wish list is a throwback to a Game Boy system.
Okay.
Because I know that's the only system it came out on. But I would love them, based on the craze that's going on, I would like to see, it was such a fun game. I played the mess up. Pokemon Pinball. I love that game.
You put this on the list. I went, of all the things, Pokemon Pinball is on your wish. I mean, that's cool. I can't remember if I played it. What system was that on?
Color, Game Boy Color.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. This, by the way, anything we say here does not qualify for $5 like it does for the podcast.
Chat, David in the chat said he loved Pinboy 2 GBA. GBA is what it was on.
And Game Boy Advance. Okay.
Yep.
I loved Pokemon. I spent so many hours trying to catch them all playing pinball. I love playing pinball. I love playing pinball on on Windows. When Windows had a pinball machine. I forget, it was the space one. But I loved Pokemon Pinball. And with the craze of Pokemon Go and other Pokemon games, Pokemon Snap, why not? Why not? I mean, I've got a touch screen here. How hard would that be? It's nothing to it.
No.
Yeah. So I'm adamant about it. I'm sorry.
So table that, because part of my wish list would include that later on. I'm just saying. Did you play I believe it was on the Game Boy Advance, the Pokemon card game, trading card game?
Oh yeah, I forgot all about
that. Was good. I had never played the card game until I played that game. That's one of the places I fell in love with CCGs when I didn't even know what a CCG was at the time.
I forgot about that. Oh, okay. Put a slash on my list and say Pokemon card game. Because I don't, oh man, yeah, I played the mess out of that crap too.
It was good. Rogish Ham in the chat said, did you ever play Metroid Prime pinball game on the 3DS? I always came this close to buying it, but I never played it on the 3DS. Yeah, like standard pinball games. All right. So put a pin in what you just said, because I'm going to come back to that later. So next, go ahead.
I said pop. You put a pin
pop, in it. Put a pin in it. All right. So next for me is one of those that ever since it came out on the SNES, F-Zero. I've been a huge F-Zero fan. Bought every one that came out, and we have not seen an F-Zero game since, I think, F-Zero GX, which was on the GameCube. And I keep hearing those who know more than me say they don't want to put out F-Zero to have it compete against Super Mario Kart, which I don't understand, because for years they competed against each other. And I see them as two different styles of games. One is the cartoony party style game. You pick up stuff, you throw them at each other. And the other one is high speed racing. I did you play any of the F-Zeros?
I played the very first one, and it was one of the few where I completed all the circuits.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just kept going back and kept going back to it.
So I'm pretty sure that we had the first F-Zero on the SNES in our first apartment. And I remember playing it a lot in that apartment. So I'm sure you played it there too.
I'm pretty sure we did too.
So I would love, I have heard nothing about it, but I would love to see the F-Zero franchise come back because it's been way too long.
Yeah, I'm going to wait on your wish list. You've got one more than me, but I don't know what your initials stand for here, but it may be one that I may talk a lot about because I thought about putting it on my list. Another thing that I would love to see that I know will never, ever happen, but re-theme it, re-skin it, redo something. But for some odd reason, I don't know why I fell in love with GoldenEye. Is amazing game. I didn't need to shoot you. I just enjoyed the story, the action, everything about the 3 levels you had to complete in certain times to get certain unlocks to it. I had a blast with that game. And then of course Rare went to Perfect Dark, which is now an Xbox exclusive, which led me down the rabbit hole of why now about that they're trying to come out with that.
Next year,
like, so, yeah, Perfect Dark is an Xbox. I'm like, well, Marty should have told me to buy an Xbox. Instead, he told me to buy a PlayStation. But besides that point, GoldenEye, retheme it. You don't have the license to 007. But take the engine, figure out some way to get this back on the system. God,
all right. For anybody that's watching in the chats, last week, or was it the week before, somebody took the GoldenEye maps and put them into another first-person engine, but I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, I just saw that today. What was that?
Well, here's the thing. Remember, that was one of, if not the first, couch PvP first-person shooter game.
Okay.
Split 4-screen, baby, sitting there on the couch, and it's like, don't look at my screen. Don't cheat. Look at where I am, because you can see where other people are on the map by looking at their screen. And we also had the rules that nobody could play Odd Job, because you were short and it wasn't fair because you couldn't aim down and everything. It was hard. And once again,
27-inch screen had 4 screens on it. How did we see it? How did we manage?
David jumping in saying the Far Cry 5 engine is where they put the maps of GoldenEye. So, yeah.
Why is it? Why am I here and why isn't he?
yeah. David, can I send you a link and just have you jump into this? We could get you in here, man. This will be a piece of cake to get you in here on this.
I don't know, Mister. I'm not going to change anything. Oh crap, he changed something. We had to tune everything before we got on.
No. Remember, I'm using new software now. Adding guests in is a piece of cake now, baby. All right. He said, I just ran. I'm a mess. I ran earlier too, but I took a shower. Okay.
I just got home from work, so you're lucky you even got me.
Okay, fair. All right. So going on the list, I've got that one. Okay, here's another one. Back in the SNES days, I picked up a game that I thought just looked amazing for its time. And it ended up being one of those where I'm so proud that I actually finished the game, and that was Donkey Kong Country.
Okay.
I would love to see some new version of that. I know they came out with 2 or 3 or like 3 of those Donkey Kong Countries and several of them later. But do you have any video games to where like you finished and you like high five yourself? Like, I cannot believe I actually finished that one, because Donkey Kong Country is one of those for me because it was so hard for me.
That would have been Lost Vikings, which we always talk about. And when I finished that, I felt a sense of elation that I had actually finished the video game. And that's probably one of the few that I remember. But it was also one of the few where I was like, okay, I had codes, I could use codes, and I didn't have to worry about playing it on and on and on to get to various points. Save points were the best thing ever invented in a video game.
Yeah. Chat just said the last one was Wii U. I think it was a Tropical Freeze or something like that that came out. So I would like to see go back to like an old school Donkey Kong Country, because this is also the 35th anniversary of Donkey Kong. Now, a lot of people are saying they want a 3D Donkey Kong experience. I still would like the 2D, but still, it doesn't matter. So it'd be cool to see a Donkey Kong game on this system because it's the anniversary.
And I enjoyed Diddy Kong Racing.
Okay, let's talk about that. I like Diddy Kong Racing more than Mario Kart during the same. I can't. Oh my! Where did Diddy Kong Racing, was that Nintendo 64?
I think so. Cartridge.
Yeah,
64.
I think it was 64. I like Donkey Kong Racing way more than Mario Kart because you had the boats and the planes.
Oh yeah, absolutely loved them.
And then you had to unlock everything, right? You had the different gates, and you had to be able to do well enough in the races to unlock the next gate.
I enjoyed Diddy Kong Racing. That's when I thought, I know they won't, because they, once again, Super Mario, they're not going, Mario Kart Racing, they're not going to cannibalize the system. They need to, hey, dance with the one that brung you. That's what you need to do here.
Well, and Mario Kart 8, which is a remake of the Wii U game, is still the best-selling game of all time. I think Animal Crossing may pass it soon, but still, it's one of. And yeah, to me, Diddy Kong Racing is closer to Mario Kart than F-Zero is to Mario Kart.
Yeah, and you're right. They had the boats. There was something else about that game. There was just a lot of things that from that game. It just popped in my head as I was doing the research for this tonight at 3:00, saying, "Hey, here we go. What were some of the best games?" Oh yeah, that one and that one. So Diddy Kong Racing. Okay, I was wondering. DKC, I was wondering if that was Diddy Kong. Donkey Kong Country. That's the one that shot you out of the barrels, right?
I think
Donkey Kong Country, you'd shoot up into the barrels.
I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. And then you had to time it right to go from barrel to barrel. And you also had the mine cart. You remember the mine cart? We had the cart, and he had to tilt and lean so you could stay on the cart. So good. So good. Chat said, remember Wave Race and Pilot Wings? Yes. I think.
Didn't play them, but I remember them.
I think Wave Race, did both of those were like release titles for the 64 to kind of show off the 3DS? Oh, and the analog stick. And being able to use the analog stick on like the Pilot Wing. Wave Race, I played a lot of.
I didn't play a lot of that one. No.
Okay. But I enjoyed that one. What's next on your wish list, man?
Well, this should be the last one. Oh, it is. Sweet. Okay. So for me, I want to see NFL Blitz or Mario Strikers or NHL Hits, but mostly I loved NFL Blitz. Loved it. It was such a fun game. It was silly. It made you mad. But I was watching some YouTube clips of someone actually playing it. And I just remember it was fast. It didn't take any time. There was none of this field goals and that kind of stuff. But I do remember getting very, very mad. And we had an old college roommate who got very angry when he was beating me and his team, how it always cheated, and he fumbled. I got it and then won the game. That really made him mad. And that game, there was just something about that game for me that I enjoyed. But then I started watching, they kept jumping on one another, and I said, that got old. But I love the concept of that, the first arena football.
So I'm with you. I always like the Blitz games more than the Madden. It's like I like the silly, as opposed to the Madden became very simulation, right? It's like, here's the exact playbook and here's how they're going to play it. I like the arcadey version, the NFL games. I think it wasn't 11 players on the field. I think it was less players per side.
Seven.
Yeah. And it was comic. It was cartoony. I too like Blitz way better than Madden. The only problem is they would have to be able to work with the NFL in order to get a license to be able to do it. And
why? They don't need to put the NFL players in it.
You don't. And was Blitz by Midway? I'm throwing it out there to you in the chat. At Midway. Blitz was cool. And you mentioned Super Mario Strikers. There are a lot of people that would love to see a remake of Mario Strikers. That was a very popular game there.
Because I played FIFA soccer all the time and NHL, EA NHL on the various games and had a blast playing those. But anything that's fast sports games. There was a baseball game I looked up. I don't think it was RBI baseball that we played constantly in the apartment where you and I mean, and then when they started doing that 3D type of image where it was instead of just a flat 2D ball coming across the screen, And it was these pitches moving up and down. It was like, oh, now you're really trying to hit baseball. I'm playing a video game. I don't want to really try to hit a baseball. I just want to have fun.
So the chat asked, have there ever been any games that top Superman 64 as the biggest train wreck of a game? I can name, yeah, I was gonna say I can name one that comes close to it, and that's E.T. Yeah, I remember Superman 64 being total train wreck, but I don't know if they were buried out in the desert somewhere like the E.T. games were. You know, they dug those up a few years ago, and they started showing up on eBay, and I was tempted to pick one up. That would have been interesting.
Wasn't there a Pac-Man that was a complete and total bust too? I can't remember.
Maybe. I mean, there's been a lot of bust games, but I do know Superman 64 was really dogged along with something like E.T. So as I go down my list here, so okay, I'll save. All right. So this kind of goes into the next one. I loved Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance. And we saw what, two versions of that on Game Boy Advance, and never saw it on the system again.
But the second one, there was something about, I mean, the first one was just so good. But I don't remember why I never got hooked on the second one.
I didn't either. I like the first one a lot better, but we haven't seen anything out of that franchise in forever. Now, one of the things I got excited about over the weekend was during the Summer Games Fest, they announced Metal Slug Tactics, which to me is
in our Discord channel.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's Advance Wars coming out for the PC. So, you know, you got a good PC. So I hope it will come out to the Switch, but right now it's only for PC. But it's like, oh, there's something like that. So I want a good turn-based war style game. And the fun thing about Advance Wars, it was campy. You know, it was cartoony, it was campy, but man, I played the mess out of that game.
Oh, I did another one completed. Just I don't know how I completed it.
Yeah, I never finished it. You finished Advance Wars. Wow.
I mean, I think you can finish it. I think you can finally win and take over the whatever you were doing.
There's a campaign. Yeah,
I did the campaign. Yeah, I finished that. I mean, games that I finished, I can probably count on two hands. So
yeah. So again, will we see Advance Wars? Probably not, but it was really cool. Now, my last one kind of dovetails into that in that put out the GBA library on the Switch. You've got NES, you've got SNES. A lot of these games that we just talked about, Advanced Wars, Pokemon Pinball, the Metroid
card game.
Yeah, the trading card game, Metroid Prime, Fusion, and all those are GBA games. And they've got this thing where it's like, here's free games, free SNES and NES games. Open up the GBA library, Nintendo. I beg of you. I've not heard of any rumors of that anywhere. And so I know this is just pie in the sky, but they've got so many good games on that system that they could just draw. Oh, Castlevania. So many Castlevania games on the GBA that you can't play anymore. The only way you can play them is if you have one of those systems lying around.
Right. As we do a quick Google to see what's in there. Tactics Ogre. Yeah, I think I remember that one.
I remember that one.
Then of course Golden Sun, Fire Emblem, Advance Wars 2, yeah, that was the one we just talked about. Wario Land, Diddy Kong Country, Harvest Moon, which we talked about for the last night when we said nothing to see here when we were testing. Man.
Yeah. In the chat talking about Castlevania said it's Konami's fault. They're making too much money on pachinko and help clubs to care about video games. And that's 100% true. Konami, I mean, that's why, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to try to say his name. The guy who did Metal Gear Solid, he and Konami split ways. One of the reasons why is like, hey, why are we doing pachinko? I can make Kojima. Yes, thank you. It's just, I love it when the chat here is Tony. They answer our questions like immediately.
You should have invited them on.
Well, they are here. They are here. But yeah, I mean, so just open up the GBA library. That's it. Just give me that. And I know that there are emulators out there that you can buy, but then you got to download the ROMs, and that's illegal. and Nintendo is going to shut those places down, which they have in the past.
Mm-hmm. Pachinko Google. What the heck is that? Richard, I got a Regina. What's pachinko?
In pachinko, where you drop the coin or the disc at the top and it hits the nails as it goes down and goes into a slot at the bottom.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I forget what it was called. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Hideo Kojima. See, David, I could send you an invite. You could sit right in here with us and answer our questions.
and he can take up my portion of the screen right now. And it'd be like I should have just named my David for me as David. That's my real name, not my pseudo plum here. And he could have just slid right in, right there.
Yeah. So as Ashley, we're wrapping up our list. So in the chat, what are some items you would love to see tomorrow? Think outside the box. We kind of thought outside the box here. There are a lot of speculations of what's coming tomorrow, but outside the box, what would you love to see?
So outside the box for me, you and I discussed this, and I know it will never ever happen, but I would love to see a 4G 5G adapter for this bad boy. Some way to plug it in so that I can now do Pokemon Go on my Switch as I'm traveling around or whatever.
Why do you need Pokemon Go's not on that? That's on your phone.
I know it's on my phone, but what I'm saying, that was just an example, okay, where you're doing.
Why do you need to have Wi-Fi connectivity on the Switch?
How else am I going to play Monster Hunter with you? When I'm not at home. When I'm not home. What about when I'm at work and I'm blocked? What about when I'm sitting in the airport and I want to try to connect to you and I can't because somebody's over there hacking?
Most places have free Wi-Fi. Okay, you know what? This is your.
They're hacking me.
This is your wish list: a 5G adapter so that you can get on 4G, 5G somehow. That's what you'd like to see.
Why everything else has it? An iPad has it. Why can this not have it? It's portable.
It can.
What? Hey, Switch, call the slacker Marty.
So
isn't most phones this big now? Just saying.
Okay. Jeez. You got a bug up your butt about this. All right. So
I got home late from work. I'm pissed.
The chat came out Star Fox. We actually mentioned that earlier. Star Fox. Hadn't seen anything for in the while. Somebody said Pachinko. That's not even funny.
Funny.
I would love to see a brand new 2D Metroid done with the graphical flair of Ori and the Blind Forest. So one of the first things we talked about was Metroid and a 2D Metroid. And I said, even if it was Samus Returns from the 3DS, I would love to see a return to a 2D Metroid. We have not seen. So before Samus Returns, what was the 2D even before Samus Returns? I can't even think of what it was. But yes, I would love it, especially in a really cool high graphical style. That would be good. Somebody said a 2D platformer. Anything in particular? Because a lot of indie companies come out with 2D platformers now. They're really, really solid. Super Mario RPG game. Did you play, what was the one that came out last year? The origami. The origami one, the Paper Mario origami. I got it. I didn't care for it. I played probably about 10 hours and I sold it because I didn't like the combat in the game. I just didn't think it was good. One chat said more digital board games. What would be a good board game to port, Tony, to the Switch? You know, I do a lot of videos on our YouTube channel for those things, and those get a lot of views. Those get more views than anything else, and people are really into Talisman. A lot of people are watching my Talisman review for that came out for the Switch. And just let me just say here, don't get it. That is a long game on the Switch. It takes forever
to get to a save point.
No, just to play Talisman.
Okay.
But any digital games you'd like to see on the Switch?
They haven't ported Ticket to Ride yet.
Yeah, they have.
They have? Well,
have
why
they not?
do I not have?
Hold on. Oh, no, that's Steam. Never mind. You're right. Okay. Ticket to Ride would be good.
Because I was going to say Pandemic's on there, Wingspan's on there.
Pandemic is not that good. I need to do a review for that one, and the reason why I haven't is because I don't think it's that good.
It's okay.
The UI is not that great.
And then let's see. I know we got Gloomhaven on Steam, and it's a beast, so I don't see it over on the Switch at all. It might. Why not?
Somebody said Tainted Grail. Oh my gosh. So realism is out the window at this point.
What? Tainted Grail.
Tainted Grail, yeah. It's a massive game.
Let's see. Kingdom Death Monster.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. What's something recent that would be good? I mean, not a lot of Euros on there. There's short stuff. Wingspan is a perfect game for that. It's easy to read and it's quick to play. Mystic Veil was good. Oh, Azul. That's a good idea.
Or the one we're going to talk about in our podcast that releases tomorrow, Mandela Stones.
Yes, that's a good one. Sagrada is good on the Switch. Those types of games are good. I think any kind of roll and write's good because then you can, fill it out on the screen as opposed to writing it down on a piece of paper.
But it cheats. They cheat. They freaking cheat. I know they do. I'm just saying they do.
Who's they?
The dice. They cheat. Oh, you needed this to come up. Well, you're not getting it. You needed this to roll. Well, no, it didn't happen. It happens all the time on my iPad. The cheats. They all cheat.
Azul's good. What else? What else would be good? Another good board game.
That's along those lines. Going through the collection.
Star Realms, I don't think came out on the Switch because I would have played it. That would have been it. Card games like that would be good.
Oh,
Lord of the Rings card game is on there, the stripped down version. It's pretty good. Clank's a good one. I think anything that's a little bit more or less, I wouldn't want, Terra Mystica's on Steam. I don't know that I want Terra Mystica. Oh, I know a good one. Last week I was streaming Dominion. That's a quick game that you could get on the Switch that doesn't take a lot of screen space.
Well, the market depends on your market. Carcassone's on the Switch now, right? I never do like doing that.
I don't know. Dominion, I don't think has a Switch port yet. Chat was asking. The PC, the Steam version is good. It's actually good. I enjoy it. Big cards, easy to read. The AI kicks my butt. I've played like 10 times and beat it once. And I'm just playing the base game because there's like 13 expansions and some of the cards get ridiculous. So people that may want digital ports on the Switch, any other thing that you would love to hear about tomorrow? I don't think we're going to hear about the new hardware. Supposedly they said this is 40 minutes of software only. So, we've been hearing new Switch hardware, but I guess it's not coming tomorrow.
You would know about more than me. It doesn't show up in my YouTube feed, so I don't know. No.
So the chat said Carcassonne is good on the Switch, Tony. So maybe you want to try Carcassonne and see how it is.
Maybe that's the practice I need in order to beat my wife when we play, because I do not know the tiles very well, and that would teach me the tiles. So yes,
Settlers of Catan's on there. From the chat, Tony's room looks like it's going to take off with that propeller fan.
I tried to find the zoom on the camera, but it didn't happen. Hey, it's hot up here.
Is Takedo on anything? Takedo was on.
It was on the. It was on Steam. It was also.
It's on the iPad, iOS.
I don't have it, so I don't know.
Yeah, iOS. Somebody confirmed that for me. Yes, that is on the iOS because I remember playing a demo of it at Gen Con or Origins. I remember Scott Morse, who was working with them at the time, showed it to me.
Okay, I remember this too. Yeah, because we were walking around. Yeah, I don't have the luxury studio that Marty does. This is
luxury studio. It's just one. Convert that into an office where you're sitting right there, and there's your studio.
It's got a desk in it. It's the background. It's the other resident who comes here every once a year.
So what we need to do is we need to invest with Tony to get a green screen so that we could change the background that's behind him.
No, we don't need to do that. because it's not like we're going to be doing these live things very often because you know me, I'm not very live. But no, I can't. I'm trying to think of any Game Boy games that we missed that I really liked when I did a quick search on them.
I know, there's hardly any sports games on the Switch, like legit sports games.
Yeah, but I don't. That's what I'm saying. Get me the fast playing ones.
Okay.
The Switch. I don't want a Madden. Okay. Like you said, it's just too long. NHL would work well because it's got 10 players at most on there.
Wasn't there an NHL type blitz game also?
Mm-hmm. There was a whole bunch of them. That's why NHL hits. HITZ.
That's it. Yeah.
That's why I listened to. I want something like that, to give me that capability. Give me the Soccer. I enjoyed playing the soccer on the
Chat said Mario Golf is not legit. Mario Golf is legit. Yes. As soon as I say we need more sports games, I just ding that the golf is coming out. But some people may want that realistic golf, like the PGA stuff that I think EA puts out. But no, I am super pumped about Mario Golf. And if you want to, by the way, if you're watching and you've enjoyed this and you want to sub, you can use your free Prime sub, because today I enacted and put in an emote with a little lawnmower, Tony. So we got the RDTN lawnmower as an emote.
On what?
On our Twitch chat.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, very good.
I don't know how to activate it, but it's there. I put it there, and I have a Grumpy Tony also. There is a Grumpy Tony icon too that can be unlocked as an emote.
Okay.
So you can get that. But anyway, going back to it. So yeah, if you enjoy this, please subscribe and everything. But also go check out our Discord channel, which you can find at rolldicetakenames.com. Join our Discord channel because we're going to be playing some Mario Golf. Because it supports real-time play with both speed golf and what was the other one called? Battle golf, which is like Battle Mario Kart. And we're going to get a group together and play that every so often. I'll probably throw that on the stream too. So because Twitch is about playing video games, and that's what we're doing.
Isn't this kind of like where we say we'd be playing Monster Hunter and we just have not coordinated well enough yet?
Correct. That is correct. Mm-hmm. Has Nintendo done anything like snooker with their remotes? Not that I know of.
Pinball stuff. I mean, not pinball, billiards.
Small World on the Switch. Small World would work. Actually, that would be nice to have the game run that for you.
Mm-hmm. Anything that helps speed you up, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Somebody said, isn't the new hardware focused on the TV mode? Rumors are that the new here's the rumors from Forbes. Rumors are that the new Switch probably have a little bit faster graphics chip in it. Will have a better screen, an OLED 720p handheld screen, but the dock will support 4K through DLSS. That's the rumor.
A lot of acronyms were just thrown around. A lot of things. DLLS, I'm sure.
DLSS. Basically, it's taking like a 1080p signal and massaging it and spitting out a 4K version of it. So it's not true 4K, but what it is upscaling it and doing some smart stuff with it to put it on the screen at 4K. Because the new Breath of the Wild game, whatever it's going to be called, I think would look amazing in that 4K type.
The more I hear you talk about this, the more it reminds me of just how old I'm getting. Because I'm not paying. I mean, it needs to be plug and play, and I'm a happy boy. So that's why that's one thing I hope they never change. The ease and simplicity of this system, of the Switch, even the Switch Pro. Keep it easy. Keep it simple. I know how hard is it to open up a Game Boy Advance, clamshell it up. But that's what I love. I don't have to worry about all these massive updates, and stuff. That's why you don't buy a computer, is because you always got to keep it updated.
I've had mine for like 3 or 4 years and have yet to really update it any.
Well, it's because you can't get graphics cards.
Yeah, that's true. But it still plays anything I want. Chat said, did any of you play the last Mario and Rabbids? I played it, but that's also it's an XCOM game. So if you like XCOM games, which is a turn-based strategy game, also the Rabbids just make me laugh. When it came out when the first Rabbids game came out, was it GameCube? I remember just laughing my butt off. For some reason, I just thought they were so funny. And to mix those together made it a really good game. And I guess you probably saw that Ubisoft announced that a new version of Mario and Rabbids is coming out and it's going to space, almost like Mario Galaxy sort of deal. The only thing that bothered me about that, it's going to be $60. The first game wasn't $60, and you can find it on sale all over the place for 10 and 15 bucks. So for $60, it had very big. Yes, Rabid Rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Rabid Rabbits, and is verifying that. So yeah.
Oh man, prices are going up. Just going to tell you now, you might as well get ready to crack open that wallet or wait for people to buy it and put it on sale. Well, what are we going to do if GameStop ever does go out and I can't buy used games? What am I going to do? Go back to eBay?
Why would you? Well, I don't understand the value of going to GameStop and buying a used game for $5 less than the new price.
Well, I wouldn't do that. I wait for the big sales. I wait for them to get old. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I mean that is my video collection. That is my Blockbuster. I remember when Blockbuster used to put all their stuff on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Blockbuster. That was awesome.
Well, the thing is, though, is so many things are moving towards digital only.
But we've had this discussion on our podcast. We're men of substance. We like our cards.
Men of substance? Okay, we'll go with that. No, I do. I buy everything physical because there's
resale value.
Yes, there's resale value, and I still kick myself for reselling all those GameCube games that I had forever ago.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Let's see. The question was, do you use digital for Switch games or cartridge? If there's a cartridge version, I typically buy the cartridge.
I buy the cartridge if there is such a thing. Yes.
In fact, get this. I'm really bad when it comes to like investments. It's like, ooh, this might be worth something. I bought Hades, the digital version, then turned around and bought the physical version with the steel case and didn't open it, hoping it may go up in value. Kind of dumb.
Did it?
I don't know. It hasn't been out that long.
Okay.
You guys play Rayman Legends on the Wii U? I did not. I did not play the Wii U a lot. I did not care for that system whatsoever.
I didn't have one. Yeah, I didn't have a Wii U. That's the one system. I had every Nintendo system up until Wii U, and then that was it. Yeah, I did not get the Wii U. I do buy the digital when they're on big sales, like what is it? The War of Mine.
This War of Mine. Mm-hmm.
This war, I did, when it was $4 for the complete big collection. Oh heck yeah, I'll buy it then.
Did you play it? It's dark.
Well, I could see the screens were dark. I know it's dark. I know what it's on. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I was going to say it's pretty deep. I mean, it's a really good game. They came out with the board game of that.
Yeah. I hear that about some board game podcasts. They talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
What a waste of time. Nobody wants to hear about board games. All right.
All right. Wrap us up.
Yeah, here we go. So we said we was going to get this in under an hour. We did that. We're excited. I'm excited. Are you even going to watch it live tomorrow?
I'm at work. No, I can't.
At work? Don't you work from home?
No, I'm back in the office.
Oh, you are? Okay. Like I said, I'm working. I purposely structured it so that tomorrow I could work on documentation from the house and not have to go in, because at noon I may go out to the local pizza place, get a calzone, and come back and enjoy this. I hope I'm not disappointed. Well, you got 40 minutes of the direct, and then you got 3 hours or so of the treehouse. And I don't know. I thought about doing a live reaction, but I won't, because everybody and their brother's going to be doing that, and I'll just sit in there with the family and do it. But I'm sure I'll be tweeting or talking about it in a future upcoming episode.
What time does it start? Noon?
It starts at noon, so noon to 12:40.
We'll see. I now have a meeting from 12 to 12:30. So
who schedules meetings during lunch hour?
It's about the only time they can.
Oh my Lord! All right. So thanks everybody for stopping in and watching. I really appreciate that. Again, if you aren't following us, please follow us, because we're doing more and more here. Like I said, we are going to start maybe streaming some games on here, including I know Mario Golf's coming. Tony, in our Discord channel, we got some people that's wanting to play StarCraft. So we might pull up a co-op StarCraft game and play. It's going to be StarCraft 1.
Wow. Wow. Just go ahead and Zerg me. I'm over.
Well, I mean, it's co-op. It's co-op against the AI. So we wouldn't be playing against each other.
I would rather play against one another just for the fun of it in the smack talk, as long as we can all be on the Discord channel, and who knows who would be matched, and then Zerg one another, and or nobody could. Are we going to play StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2? Or I think I'd have to. I don't even know what my Blizzard account name is. Somebody go hack that for me.
So somebody said in the channel, if you want a third for Mario Golf, DM me. Like I said, join our Discord channel. You know, I'm not sure how many players it supports, but we'll just post when we're going to get together and play Mario Golf. Tony, we're looking at playing StarCraft, the remastered version that came out a couple years ago with better graphics and everything. I'm sure your PC can. Your PC can handle StarCraft 2, right?
Sure, you can.
So we would play either one. Honestly, we would play either one. I just like the music. Oh no, I forgot. I think you can actually change it now that if you play StarCraft 2, you can listen to the music from 1, which is what I do.
Okay, I'm waiting to see you talk about the Mario Golf coming out. I'm waiting to see if we can do our Walmart one where you.
Thank you for subscribing.
Who? What?
MU Jedi just subscribed with his Prime account. Thank you so much, sir.
Excellent. So I'm looking at Mario Golf Super Rush, and I was wondering if Walmart's going to sell it for $10 less, like they did Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Probably.
I don't know.
Walmart's really good at that. Oh, before we get out of here, are you going to buy Diablo 2 Resurrected for the Switch in September?
After I played Diablo, no. I didn't enjoy Diablo, the one I bought. All I did was walk around and press a button.
Gee, what do they call that? Did you hack and slash a lot?
No, because I did some magic guy who just spit fireballs at people.
Oh my gosh.
There was no, I'm sorry. I remember loving Diablo 2 and playing it and doing all that. But then I was playing this and I was like, this is boring as all get out.
Oh,
man.
Here.
Get off my freaking lawn.
Here, I'm going to put in the chat. I'm going to show what our emojis look like. Check this out, y'all.
I'm not even on this, so you make fun of me all you want.
There's our lawnmower emotes, and there's Grumpy Tony.
You lucky I put up with this crap.
It is so funny. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what our Twitch login is.
So good. Oh yeah, chat's liking Grumpy Tony emote there. That was a good one. I was proud of that one.
You should be. Whatever it takes to entertain yourself. All right, you're right. We gotta get out here. I gotta write a podcast blog so that we can so you can post a media file before it gets published.
Yes, we do have a new episode dropping tomorrow that is doing a review of Mandala Stones and Imperium.
Oh, it's got hold on, I'll tell you exactly all what we got on there. We can't even, let's see, don't forget you got your Pepsi Peeps taste test.
Yes.
We talked about the FFG announcements of Arkham Horror expansions as well as Unfathomable.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Vienna Connection, or I do, and what occurred during that. Then we also have, of course, Clever Cubed, which was from Stronghold Games, Doodle Dungeon, Mazescapes, Bullet. We talk about Calico, Flesh and Blood, Mandela Stones, and of course Imperium. And finally, but not the least thing that we can do, is we review some of our dad jokes.
And my gosh, I did not think I would laugh at any dad jokes. I was just snickering. It was funny. Some of those just really got to me. Of course, you'll hear that tomorrow. That episode will be dropping at midnight tonight Eastern time. You can go again, find it on iTunes and everything. But before we get out of here, Emu Jedi, who's a recent subscriber, said, looking forward to Back for Blood game. Me too. I was a huge Left 4 Blood fan. I'm curious to see, how is this different from Left 4 Dead? Wow. Left 4 Dead. Yeah, this is by the same group that made Left 4 Dead. It's called Back 4 Blood, number 4. I'm curious to see how it's different. I would hope it's something different about it, but I am looking forward about that too, because co-op shooters like that, I think, are fun. Tony, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. go write up our blog. And for everyone who stopped in, thanks for watching. And we'll be posting this. If you're just catching it at the very end, I will take this and post it up to our YouTube channel so that you can watch it in full
So keep rolling dice
and taking names.